Good evening, Pretoria. Welcome back to Sunday Night Gospel featuring myself, RoguePatton, and my good friend, Mr. Mondroid.
What up?
What up? You got something special going on tonight, right?
Me? No, dude. What's no? This is just doing the show.
Nah, you got you got basketball going on, right?
Nah, I closed it down, dude. It was way too distracting.
I see, and I know very few people that actually care about like the NBA finals or NBA in general. Basketball's never like been a big sport of mine, but but yeah, no, that's going on tonight. Man, we got baseball, Little League baseball just ended this weekend for us, so everything's kind of gonna take a different turn of pace for the summer now. So crazy time. But welcome back to Pretoria. We're mid-season. We're season number 2 into Conclave Arcana, and I think we're already noticing some of the meta shifts and adaptations that we kind of expected to come during testing. So Mondroid, how are you doing this season so far?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I just about broke into the top 10 for Modern Ranked before the show started. I'm actually in a tie with Housewife, but my tiebreaker's not as good, unfortunately. So I get the 11th spot.
The 100,000. You see a black screen? Ruh-roh.
Oh, Bejangles.
Try refreshing the page and see what happens. If you can hear us, that's usually maybe a you problem.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Is anybody else also experiencing a black screen? Refreshed twice.
Oh no.
Mondroid, you got it? Can you pull it up? Can you see what you see?
Well, on your stream, yeah, I got it going. It's just muted. It looks fine to me. But...
Tails says it's an ogre problem. My man, I feel like the black screen on Twitch has happened before, and I don't remember exactly what the refresh love for that is. Because I feel like we had like a little like how-to or something while Splinterlands TV, because I feel like that happened a couple times when people were viewing Splinterlands TV. It'd be a black screen instead of what we were, streaming. I mean, unless China's really getting in your guys' crap over there, and now I'm being silenced. Like, that's my only guess.
Just our show. They're like, we cannot have this propaganda being spewed.
Nothing of this peace, prosperity, and none of that. Not for all. Not for Taiwan. But yeah, sorry, Jangles. Let me know if you get it fixed. Tails, that means you're doing all right. Mick, welcome. First time chat. Thank you, sir. Hello, or ma'am, sir or madam. But Mondroid, so you're sitting at a real good rating here, actually. And I think when we were looking at, let me see what my quick math. Let me bust out my handy dandy calculator. You know what's hilarious? Is I spent a lot of time in school with like graphing calculators, very fancy like TI-69 whatever blah 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 calculators. This is the only calculator I need in my life. It's just the iPhone calculator. This is it. You don't need anything else. I do very complex math on this, and I do napkin math on this, and they both carry the same weight. So let's just do some quick math here. 205 divided by 346. You're rocking at a 59% win rate. Congratulations, dude.
Oh, boy.
346 battles, though. That's actually super intense because, what are we, maybe 8 days in? We got 6 days left, so probably about 14, 15. So, yeah, we're maybe 8 or 9 days. We'll go 9, just so you don't look like too big of an addict. 38 games a day. Nice.
Yeah, I have managed to get more in. I've opened the first batch of each chest, so that's where some extra energy came from.
Mm.
And I don't know, maybe I'll do more, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I
so
kind of
is it
got it out of the way early because I had some extra time, and
good?
I don't know if I'll keep that pace or not, but
Yeah, I mean,
so
I
far it
guess
was working out.
yeah, and it's not super far off the pace of like Lorcas is at 327. So yeah, you're actually outpacing him on games. Brave Tofu though, 568. Let's go.
What
This
a
man's
beast.
taking his like 50% win rate or 51% win rate to the top with just effort. I say that jokingly. He's at 56% win rate. But like this is also another part of our rating system that's actually pretty crazy is like the difference between 56% and a 59% win rate. Like these should be just pennies. But like it is literally the difference of like let's see his rating. Tofu is at it's 260 points, but
Right.
literally an extra 220 games to get
Do you know
up.
if he plays his own account?
I think he does. I think he's a live player, unscholared. Um,
Nice.
I mean, I think so. Tofu or Jangles could probably confirm that, but I'm pretty sure he is. But yeah, nah, Mick, we're doing awesome. It's a beautiful end of the week, beautiful restful Sunday. We're just talking about leaderboards and kind of where we're at in the game, how much we're playing, what the meta looks like. But Tofu definitely plays manual. So yeah, Jangles is probably in his DMs all the time. Honestly, you're
It
gonna have
sounds
to
like it.
ask the man how he does 568 battles. That is amazing. Oh, hold on. Let me just do the same dumb math. 568 divided by 9. 63 battles a day. Wow.
Woof.
That's amazing. And honestly though, the way Tofu kind of like I think he is with the game, I bet he watches him. He might not be a skipper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's crazy.
I don't know. That's so many
I
though.
know.
That's so many to watch if you're watching them.
63. I mean, if you're watching games, you can really only get through maybe what, 12 an hour maybe? We're talking like a game every 5 minutes if you're watching them.
Man, yeah, like the queue's 2 minutes, and the battle takes three at
Yeah,
least,
2 minutes to set up and then at least a minute or so to watch it. So yeah, I'm generous, I think, when I say 12, for fully consumed players, 12 games an hour. So yeah, that's looking like 5 hours worth of Splinterlands. And but yeah, that's crazy. Good for him though. Good for
Yeah.
him. Yeah, no, I
Well,
love that's the beautiful part about playing like the real players is jumping in their DMs. And just being like, you and I had one this week, and I was very ashamed of mine. Like I won, but I also like looking at the team, it was just like there's no strategy to this. I actually botched this. The lineup's wrong. Everything's wrong. There was just enough RNG, and Mondroid pointed it out. If you just bring RNG to a match against Mondroid, you're probably better off than if you left RNG on the bench. So just always bring the RNG. But
oh yeah.
so you got 346 matches in this season. You're number 11. So what are you noticing this season compared to last?
Well, people have definitely settled into Lorcas with the fire teams, There's been, I
Yep.
mean, so there's a lot to talk about with it, really. Like, I think Greybrow with the giraffe giving him shield,
Yep.
that's
That's a
pretty much been a staple.
very meta play that I'm actually seeing a lot more frequently now. I think everybody's got that card up and going and leveled up and ready to go. So yeah, you're looking
Yeah.
at
And if not Greybrow, then the Cave Wise, is also a good substitute.
yeah, Cave Wise is for sure a staple tank. It's in that common slot, so you get to bring it to a lot more matches. I think at 6 mana, it's super fairly costed. So you end up sneaking this guy into a lot of stuff. But yeah, this is generally one of the big plays that you're seeing. Lorcus is ran with, some pretty big stuff up front, but then Keelan Gaines is kind of your big one. So, and then the counter meta is all the silences and the void and the snipe shot. So, like,
yeah, you can see I set up to counter an opponent's Keelan Gaines with the Smith in the snipe spot and 2 silences, but this team was not what I was expecting, so I wasn't sure how it was going to play out in the end, but...
Yeah, and this is one of those things that I'm experiencing a lot this meta, is I feel like I'm exploring, and I'm trying to, like, counter plays that I believe that are coming. And even if I feel like I do my best to counter the play, there's been times when I still lose because the rest of the team is still just beefy enough, like even if you didn't, like, even if you countered the Venka or you countered the Keelan, like there was still other stuff that ended up just beating you up, So yeah, in this case, yeah, there was no counter to the Keelan, and yeah, this the silence, and it all just kind of ran train. So no issues there.
It worked out in the end where the Smith ended up just tanking everything, and then he just couldn't get through really. So
yep. Faded Glory, good evening. I am doing wonderful. I love your activity on snaps, my boy. I am making sure I give you love every time I see you. And just honestly, for anybody in the chat, I am all my Hive votes, which I mean, it's not much, guys. Is like I have pennies in Hive power and all that stuff, but I literally vote everything Splinterlands, like in order. My vote power, I'm like making sure I try to keep that at like 85% every night, and I'm reading all the Splinterlands snaps specifically. So like jump in and do those for sure. Bob Card J, welcome. Firm fam. Ooh, I like that. Firm fam.
I've been more involved with blogging again, and I've got it set up to actually upvote, or whatever it is, vote on a lot of things that get posted now. And so it kind of does it for me, but every now and then too, I'll browse through it myself and just upvote some content that looks decent. And I want to try to get enough Hive staked where your vote's worth that 1 cent, so it'll give you the message like, Mondroid voted on your post. 1 cent.
That's kind of, I would also, I feel like I want to be there as well. My balance between Hive and Splinterlands has always been rough because, like, I don't generally just put money, like I don't do enough on Hive to justify the Hive power versus how much I do in Splinterlands. Like I need the SPS, I need the cards, so just putting like a couple hundred into Hive, I just haven't really gotten to that point yet. But I think that's going to be something that I want to do, because one of the things that I've always noticed is like, people like Azurkon who have giant weight in their votes, like they encourage engagement with them just for their votes, you know what I mean? So swinging around a giant vote, has that kind of draw. Like you can encourage people to interact with you with that vote, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, and I mean, it's just kind of how it is, where it's like, hey, your vote's worth like 20 cents, and like people want to talk to you more, so
exactly.
And yeah, Azurkon's been good, great. He's been upvoting some of my posts and stuff, with the curation account, and then I think it's set up where once that happens, like 20 more people kind of auto upvote it.
Yep. Yeah, that curation really nice. And the votes that follow with that, those are, again, a lot of stuff that I just, I've never really fully followed, but yep. No. So Mick says that he streams. Streaming and playing is crazy, though. I find that it's harder as you have to multitask. I agree, but then I also disagree, because I actually seem to play the best when I'm streaming. One, if I submit a team on time. that is something that happens often, where I get distracted talking to the live audience that I don't pick my team. But talking through my play lines, because that's like the majority of the content for me, is like talking through my play lines, talking through my thoughts. That actually really helps me, because oftentimes like I'll go through ranked with like a 52% win rate or whatever, just because I'm aggro slamming teams. I'm not super thinking about it. I'm like, let's go, come on to the next one. But when I'm streaming, like I'm not aggro into anything. I'm taking my full time, talking through everything for the audience, and then thus benefiting me. And so I've always had a really good win rate on stream. So that's been helpful. But Mick, where do you stream? I'm glad to know there's more streaming content out there.
I'm gonna need you to scroll up a little bit, because I don't want Bidjangles to get too cocky seeing that win on.
I see it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's I was just I'm looking through the meta here, and there's definitely some of your obvious plays that I think have really come out in the meta. This flanking with the silver blade, and then either running the slate, like right here against the Yebbet Mat. This is like this is EMP's play at this point. So, and we're seeing this all over the meta. You've got Leolin and Slade kind of in that reach spot doing the shield blast, and then usually, like, this is why I think Mondroid Mondroid did not run a taunt in this one, so let's play this one out. Usually the taunt's in position 6.
Yeah, I think he messed up a little bit, because there's no reach for the Saifu.
Yeah, I've done that. I literally did that in one of the matches, I think today. I'm like, I had it all set up, and I'm like, you're a goof.
It happens,
Gibbs.
you know.
Dog, you're not helping. I don't need that. Don't do that.
I finally leveled up that stupid bludgeon hucker just for that extra protect and slow. Exact purpose.
Protect, and then specifically Rust, I think, are really big abilities right now. One of the plays that I'm actually doing a lot, and I don't think it in my head it's oppressive, but I don't think I've really gotten the win rate that I should have with this. But like, I'm oftentimes using Heloise with like double Rust. So like, here's an example. That one might be bad. I was kind of picking on somebody with like 3,500 rating.
He's super potent with that the Deep Delver, because it's got Rust, and then it's got the Corrupted Healing, and so she just keeps coming back and getting healed up, and then probably popping your dudes for the full damage, you know. It's been really difficult.
Yeah. So one of the things, like, I love Platypus right now. Platypus is just such a cheap Rust option that is in green for Heloise, and so between that and then if you've got the mana for it, the Lord Thanalor, you know, you're taking out all the shields, and like the two main things that get in the way of Heloise are shields and speed, right? So there's many times where if I get one of these aim true rule sets, or if I get like a no shield rule set, then maybe I'll go for Squirrel, and I'll make sure that like I'm running True Strike on that, or something along those lines. There's actually a couple rule sets that automatically make me look for Heloise, like Enrage. Enrage is a big one, Blast is a big one, where I'm just kind of looking and I'm like, okay, I think Heloise is a play here. And Platypus has made it, I think, very cheap to run Heloise a little bit more comfortably than I used to. A little bit more successfully too. I've struggled in the past where like even with all of these setups, there's still sometimes where like they have enough health, or they have just like one thing that's getting in the way, and I'm not actually trading shot for shot like we should be, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit rough, but I lose most of my battles on stream lately. Mick, my man, you have to let me know when you're streaming so I can log on. Need to get some wins. Happy Sunday, Emma. It is great to see you. This is where all the people are. Yeah, Sunday Night Gospel. That's what we want. But yeah, this is one of those plays. I've been running the Heloise Rust for a while, and I think if there's any rule set that really allows me to get away with it, I try to jam it in. And I think it's kind of flexible to many summoners. You can run it with the Poison Burst Summoner. You can run it with Squirrel. You can run it with Lorcus. You can run it with Tofu. You know, these are all plays. But so then, what is some of the other meta plays we got right now? I think one of the
like in Blast too, when she just hits everywhere is so annoying.
Yeah, and if you can put the True Strike, right? If you can Squirrel on a Blast rule set, it's good. It's real good. But let's see, what are one of the other kind of bigger? Let's see, EMP. We know that it's running the Reach with either Slade or your cat lady. We've also got Lorcus running Keelan Gaines, Cryptic still running Slade with some phase voids in there. Are you seeing a lot of that lately? I feel like everyone's been pretty heavy on EMP. Like, I'm not seeing so much of the traditional Slade runs here. So
I mean, every now and then I do, but I feel like, I don't know why, but like, well, I guess it's just most people are like prefer Lorcus with the magic buffs, whereas I've been playing Cryptic with the Lorcus team essentially, like as far as the death part of it goes. And so like you bring the silences which counter Keelan Gaines, and then with Lorcus nothing happens, you know. But when you have Cryptic, you get to expose the void, so at worst you're doing 1 damage and poisoning stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of like Cryptic kind of bouncing back in the meta now, but
yeah.
As far as like the Slade evasion kind of play, I don't know. I think there's some decent counters to it now.
I think
one
so
of them
too.
just being Keelan, you know, and Keelan just ignores your front line. So
Yep, I was actually in the chat right now. We're talking about a hippo play, and I feel like I recently made like an obnoxiously aggressive hippo play, and I beat out an EMP play that I didn't know if I was actually going to. And I can't remember where I did that. I wonder if that was on a Woody battle. I wonder, because Woody didn't have his. All right, thank you, Woody. We've got our hippo up to date now. But yeah, there was a hippo play. Man, what did I do? This was it. This was it. I ran this one, and this was just an obnoxious hippo play. So this is like double resurrect on the marrow bait with 2 of the poison, or it's essentially 3 poison bursts. This is an opportunity match, so this is for sure going to be the first one that gets the pop. And then we're just going to beef up here and see if like opportunity has enough to get us the advantage. But honestly, when I was looking at this, I was like, crap, these are some big guys. I don't know. This is like the classic EMP play. You've got Silverblade into Saifu. You've got Bara backing it up. You've got Venka giving extra stuff. The Mana Warden here, I think, is just giving Saifu some extra love. But we ended up getting there. And I don't think there was too much RNG. It's just when you start getting these triggers on your hippos, then stuff just kind of got really out of control here. This guy is hitting for 11. We've got 4 and 5 magic damage. We've got a big 8 on that shield strike. Ended up losing that right away though. So the poison triggers are now completely out. Everything's poisoned, and we are completely catching up from here. Like full advantage. But yeah, it's just hippo madness. And I say hippos like we had 2 fake hippos, but just hippo madness in that one. I knew that happened today. So
Hippo
yeah,
man.
you're absolutely, and I would say I don't even know if I run it so much with the Hippo run, but like you can put that combo in to any of your Rebellion summoners really, and it's still great. Running the arrow bait into, you know, your Execute and your Mudslinger, and your 2 shapeshifters is just wonderful if you can. But yep.
Yeah, if they did it like that's really a fun synergy, you know, with that hippo setup because it's fun seeing your dudes just power up essentially, and
Mm-hmm.
like it's too bad because like I feel like the orc one doesn't really work as well, and then the earth one with the card that should not be named, Windseer.
Yep.
Windseer doesn't do it either, you know, that well. Like the elves, and I don't know. It's like we'll see. Maybe the Conclave Arcana reward cards will add some more targets for some of that stuff and make those a little more interesting. But
Yeah. Yep. No, I'm definitely with you there. And then yeah, People's Guild's calling out Squirrel. Squirrel meta for me, for the most part, is either just like your traditional aggro red-ish, like for sure running the your red hat guy, your wizard, Greybrow, running Greybrow. But then for me, honestly, usually when I'm in Squirrel, I'm trying to run Heloise somehow. That's generally a play I'm running there. What are you doing with your Squirrel, Mondroid?
I think he was talking about like the Slade counters. That comment kind of came in around
Oh,
then.
yeah.
But for Squirrel, I mean,
It's
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 interesting because
flexible.
it's kind of versatile now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like with you got decent tanks available to you now, and I think
Yep.
that's the biggest difference with Red is like before they just had no sustain and their tanks were just not good. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of allows them to go different angles with it. Like I've done some, you know, where you get like Greybrow and the giraffe in the front, and then you just throw down like Townsend and Delia and have like a ton of archery damage.
Yep.
And then you can taunt or whatever, or true strike them, you know, depending on what the need is. And I
Yeah.
like that a lot. It's like that's kind of like they did like that summoner, or I guess Archon now is really fun because it's like the tactics were that's like what you would want out of tactics, right? Where it's not just like 99% of the
Yeah.
time I'm gonna use this one, where it's like
Yeah,
you
which is
got
exactly,
options.
I think, what we get right now with all of the other ones. Like, I don't think Lorcus is ever playing the Trample. It's always playing the Life Leech and the Affliction. EMP is always playing Shield Strike and Piercing. Like, that's where its bread and butter is right now. Cryptic is always playing Dispel and Poison. And I think...
There are times where I've used EMP's repair plus cleanse, but I went into it with as my strat with
in the
like Bira as the
current meta...
tank. Yeah, like with Bira as the tank, and you can put the cleanse and
Mm-hmm.
repair on the Caravan Guard who has Echo, and you
Yeah.
get double repair, double cleanse,
Yep. Okay.
and then double triage and stuff. So, but it's like very specific when I'm gonna do that because big tanks like that kind of get wrecked now by like you know all the relentless strike cards and
Yeah. Yeah, no,
some of the
I'm
big
very
negative
hesitant.
damage that's coming in.
The rise of Saifu, I think, has really highlighted that skill and
Yeah,
that ability, because that was one of the things last meta that I don't think everyone was truly picking up on, is how amazing Relentless Strike is. And it's not really, there's not many cards that have it that are just generally weak, and like you need somebody to be shielded to get the value out of that card. It seems to be just kind of like a bonus ability, you know.
yeah. It doesn't really hurt you if they don't have it, but if
Exactly.
they do, it's like you just nope, doing full damage +1.
+1,
That
baby.
that Storm Hippo, the one that has it, and like once you power him up,
Yep.
and then you know like he just starts cutting through all their
And
tanks,
he's executing
and
like,
then he executes when they get low. Yeah.
man. Yeah, I'd say that's one of the other ones that that I do. So like tofu has minor flexibility, I would say, and it's only in the case that like if I'm in a tofu mirror, it's for sure the triage. If I'm not, then I get to play the other one. But like that seems to be the only flexibility I have with tofu.
Yeah, I mean, it can be really nice with the corrosive ward if they have like a Mantaroth and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna make him
Oh
almost
yeah,
useless.
if that's their win con, right? But then like if
Yep.
your Venka's like completely unprotected, then like and that's really I think that's the meta I'm still seeing with tofu. Tofu Venka is still huge, huge. And so that's always something that has to be accounted for. Really just anything Venka. Venka is still the aggro play for the most part that I'm finding. Especially when red's not the option.
Yeah, you just gotta watch out for Greybrow because he
Mm-hmm.
will kind of retaliate or
Yep.
spite and wipe her out.
And he's
But
got the thorns, so like you don't got to be tofu to
yeah,
like he's good. He's really good, and plus all of his, like the mana warden and the giraffe, both with the shield. Like he's a good stopper to that. So yeah,
I don't
that's
know if
kind of
you have any examples of it, but in like that 15 to 17 mana range, I've actually been playing Tofu without Venka, and then I
mm-hmm.
used that one Buttercup Mauler with the 5 damage sneak and reflection shield.
Yep.
And what'll happen is she'll kill their Venka, and then, the rest of my team can pull off a win in that sense, because once she's dealt with, that's
Yeah.
kind of like their whole setup.
Yeah, no, that actually makes sense because that's where I'm finding, everyone's kind of real comfortable. Oops, bot. You bot. My bot's going to go after this guy for a minute. So
Oh no.
while my bot's doing its thing, yeah, that's definitely, a lot of people are being very comfortable with their Venka in the back. They're not really,
Yeah, I've noticed that, which
they're
is
not
why I
really
started
protecting
doing
it.
that.
So that'll be like another adjustment as Buttercup starts to kind of make its. I said that so seriously.
As the Buttercup makes her debut.
Everybody, you need to go after the best, and Buttercup's the best. Respect. Wasn't that a Powerpuff Girls name? It was
Yeah, I think so.
Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup. Let's go.
I think so.
It
Wow, look
was.
at
Oh
you.
my goodness. I need a skin. We need a skin. I want a Powerpuff Girls skin promo on
For the
Buttercup.
Buttercup Mauler,
I
yeah.
want it. I need it. Guys, make it happen. I want skins and overlays, and I don't care if we have to pay Cartoon Network $1 million. Let's make it happen. And we'll just
We just have to Taylor Swift it.
Mick, you have a great night, buddy. We'll see you around.
See ya, bud.
He asked us a while back, he said, have you been looking into Bloodlines? I have been having some good battles with gnomes and elves. Yep, gnomes, I generally look to gnomes when we have like a health equalizer in a medium range of mana. I think gnomes are like a go-to at that point. But frankly, I'm actually struggling with gnomes if blue's not available. So like black and blue have to be
Yeah.
available for me. The main thing that makes gnomes go off the rails is that electrify.
Yeah, it's by far the easiest way to pop them off. And like you said, if it's not available, I almost don't even bother, because it's like you can use some other like reckless triggers and stuff, but
Mhm.
it's like so much harder to make that work in a way where they just go nuts.
Yeah, in the current meta for sure, there's definitely I haven't found like gnomes were nuts in playtesting, absolutely nuts. And then I haven't comfortably been able to slip gnomes into the meta without having like a very specific rule set, and the health equalizer's kind of the big one for me.
Yeah, that's great. If you look at my battles, there's probably a couple in there because I do like to go to it when it is there.
It's definitely one of those that like So here you got one against XA Dragon. Oh, exactly. Little League and Opportunity. Okay. So that's not bad. So, oh wow, but your opponent is looking strong. Looking real strong. Let's see how this plays out. You've got the Electrify. The first target, though, I would say it's kind of interesting because opportunity-wise, this is a great target. That's like essentially 11 health that you have on your opportunity target, and that's awesome, especially in Little League. It's in the back, so that's actually really cool. You got the rally here beefing up the scavenge, but we're actually running 2 sneaks. So for those in the audience, the way some of these abilities stack is there's like a priority here. So like even though this is equal opportunity, sneak actually has more priority than opportunity. So even if the card has opportunity and sneak, it'll do sneak first. So in this case, he's actually kind of split his damage. He's got 2 sneaks, 3 opportunities, and then 1-on-1 up front. So let's kind of see if that's... And like, I guess for you, sure, it stops like your guys from going off so much if he kills the gnome, but really I think just that splitting of damage is probably going to be the worst part for him. But ooh, his evasions.
What's nice there is my tribute just got some armor back on the water divine here.
Yeah. Oh, these are big because yeah, these guys are all over the place. And then now, yeah, your gnomes are 4 3s.
Yeah, now the gnomes are popping off.
Yeah, it's like by round 3. Yeah, it's like they are going to start running. But then that's the beautiful part about these abilities, and that was the cool part about testing all of this, is like, sure, stuff was absolutely ridiculous by round 3, but they were going to be dead by round 5. So like there's
exactly.
They were getting to that, like they were progressing from balanced to broken to dead, and like they were transitioning into that glass cannon stage right at the very end where, you know, this thing's got 1 health, you know, and they're gonna die real soon, right? So that was
that Diving Dark Surveyor with the slow, and then the double attack with the stun. Super strong too, and then the other one with the blast.
Yep. Oh crap! I'm doing more battles. Go bot, go.
Bot, go bot. 1
Rogue.
energy every 8 minutes.
Did you get a Furious Brewer yet? No, I have not gotten a Furious Brewer yet. Actually, my most recent purchase was actually the Orc. I went after the yeah, right there, the Virid Venomancer. And I did something different this time with this one. So I bought enough copies to have it maxed. So I've got another maxed gold foil common. This is my 4th max gold foil common. I seem to be doing like 1 a week is generally where I'm at here. I think the prices on these are still good. This one was $34 for all of this. But I left it chopped up into the areas where I feel like it was going to rent good. Because what I found is, you know, like up here, my maxes are renting at like 40 DEC a day. So it's like they're nowhere near their actual value, I think, in renting. Like, I'm still fine with that, but there's no real demand for these cards up at max level gold foil. But one of the things that, like, as we grow in player base and everything, like, I think that silver level, as players are going to start to be more comfortable with bronze and maybe want to push to the next level, this is one of those cards that unlocks poison. So, like, one, the void, or what ability is that called? The shield.
I forget what it's actually called, but
it's called Shield Ward. So
Shield Ward.
This card has Shield Ward at bronze, so I think that's already kind of like a real good ability to have at the bronze level, but then at silver level it gets poison and it's on a magic attacker. So I think this is definitely one of those cards. I remember using it in testing, and so I kind of stocked up on some of these and left it chopped up for rental income if the demand is there, instead of just having, you know, a max one. Mainly also because I'm very much of the mindset that I'm not going to be able to participate at all in conflicts. I am very confident that black foils and CPs have completely... I won't get anything, so I'm not pretending that I will. I'm going to be playing the rental market during conflicts. That's how I'm going to kind of keep the flow of buying new stuff going during that time. So that's why I made that decision. But that's my card this week, is I went for the Venomancer. But yes, I'm still very much of the mindset that I want a brewer at some point. But so Runer Kid says, I just maxed Lucky Longshot, GBS, and Arcanist. Wow. You maxed out the Arcanist, the promo? Whoa.
The Rune Arcanist?
That dude. Let's go. Let's just go see what that cost. My man. Because I know that's rough right now. It's this one, the Rune Arcanist. So, let's see. Oh, never mind. Maybe max it out some other time. But, yeah, right now, that's like a $400 card for a rare. That's amazing. But yeah, Lucky Longshot and GBS, good for you, man. Good for you. Those are great cards. Great cards. But yeah, well done.
Yeah, there's a lot more counters to Smith now, but it's still got its place, you know, as like a really solid card.
Yeah. No, it's really good. So Mondroid, as we've kind of identified where the meta's at, I think one of the things you and I have both noticed is it's time for our boy Craniacs to come on back, right?
He's certainly made an appearance for me, and I think he made one for you too. So
he did. Let's go over yours first. So just Jangles and the boys at the People's Guild already kind of let the cat out of the bag. I think we've been letting the cat out of the bag, but nobody's listening. But Craniacs is a meta card, and so what we've noticed, you know, especially with the rise of Greybow and Poison Burst and all of those stuff are starting to make their way into the meta, and even Venkatrapples. Like, these are all targets that you can absolutely shut down with a Craniacs. So what this Last Stand ability does is it stops some of these death triggers. So in this case, Greybrow is not going to get that resurrection once that thing dies, and so it's not going to come back. It's not going to burst everybody for one. It's not going to be max health, and so what you guys will see is this kind of like nope spell, you know, or play is very, very powerful, especially when like full teams were kind of built around this. So one of the other things that we could probably highlight here, Mondroid, if you wanted to, like, you wanted to talk through like specifically the Keelan counters that you were kind of building in here.
Yeah, so Keelan's pretty straightforward. I'll usually bring at least 2 silences, you know, it's just like so important right now. And so like the Skinwalkers, I've played Skinwalker a lot more than Grammel, you know, even though on paper you would think Grammel's the powerhouse you want to play. But and then I know during testing, and then the first thing like the public said too is that Skinwalker just, I don't think that's very good for its mana cost. And then here it is, like the card I play like the most practically in the new set.
Yep.
And so yeah, it's just a lot of silences, and then you want something in the snipe position with the Void, you know, to just take that Keelan damage down even further.
Yep. So Skinwalker's made its way back down to $1, so it's about $1, $1.2 right now on a couple of these. Once you really start getting into the BCX, it gets up to like $1.7, $1.8. But after I purchased, I purchased like 5 of them at $1 or something like that. It shot up to $1.30, and I thought that was going to be like a resetting of price. I didn't think it was going to retrace again, but we're back to $1 on that card. But I think one of the things that you're highlighting is specifically like the silence ability. The silence ability is scarce and not really on super cheap cards. So finding ways to kind of stack silences in this game is actually pretty rough right now. Some of the meta ones that we use are the 9 cost legendary neutral.
Yeah, so there's the 9 mana neutral Nalara. There's the 6 mana Archer in Death with it that has Sneak as well. There's the 4 mana guy in Fire.
Yep.
And then the Skinwalker. So like,
and then the sad part about him is he's a sneak target, or he's a snipe target too. So like in red, you're not really stacking so many of those. Let me go abilities. Go look at our silence. Where are you at, silence? There you are. Oh no! It only gives us here. So yeah, Rebellion only gave us 4, and so I think the Hunter and Geniac are like ones that I use pretty frequently when trying to counter, because those are in color for Keelan. And then yeah, the only other ones that you really have are the Skinwalker. But yeah, also running this Elemental with the Void here kind of buys you some time. Your opponent chose to do essentially 2, ran here and here, assuming that this guy was going to last a while. And so that's really, in my opinion, where this match falls apart, is because if this guy was uninterrupted, he would have sustained long enough that like we'd have been poking here with Keelan, then here with Keelan, some corrupted healings. Like this would have taken a long time, but because the breakdown happens here, then this assault from the Wayfinder and the Giraffe will just continue through things that were never supposed to be touched, because there's 2 taunters and a big guy up front that can usually go 1v1, 1v2 with anybody. But because of Craniacs, this thing is dead. Dead.
So we'll see it right here, where instead of coming back with full health and like taking something, and blasting, everybody like, does you see the chain events now of not getting resurrected, that full health there? He
gone. He did. And so yeah, and then because when you run that card, when you run the Craniacs, you don't rely on some of those abilities. So that's where like normally, I don't know, a Cave-Wise Wayfinder versus a Greybrow, like those are, I don't know, relatively, it really kind of depends on the rule sets. They're almost interchangeable. But if you completely strip away Greybrow's resurrection, like that resurgence ability, like it's nowhere near comparable. And so then
it's like night and day.
Yeah, and Greybrow then is comboing off with the Giraffe, where Greybrow doesn't. So yeah, that is the first instance. So I think, just heads up, ladies and gentlemen, you're probably going to be seeing Craniacs just a little bit more than you used to. It only takes a couple times before players start to see it, and then they start to kind of adapt it themselves. So I did one as well. I had one on one of the bigger players. I think this was kind of a higher takedown for myself. Oh, it's the same guy. I was watching you.
So that was your battle on Woody.
Yeah, this was mine against Badwitch. So Badwitch is getting a lesson in Craniacs right now. So literally, oh no, that was the one we were watching.
No, this is the same battle. Yeah,
I was talking about my battle.
Yes, you were.
Oh crap. Well, I'm good at the game too. So I guess that was my battle.
No, you pulled it off.
I clicked on the wrong one. All right, where's yours? Jeez, I thought I had yours. Let's go.
It's up a little bit more in the message
This might be
with the
one of the.
LOL.
Is that what it was? Oh yeah, because you shut down the hippos on this one.
It's so good, dude. You get
Oh,
it's so
gross, guys. So this is classic trading card game control match. Like, this is just mean. Your boy across the table has this broken combo that's gonna go off and wreck face. We already literally watched this combo once today. Like, I pulled it off. He's even committed to it more. He's got
all in on hippos and the resurrect and everything, and I'm gonna be like, nope.
So you just watch this team crumble.
All the cool stuff that's supposed to happen, nope.
Just doesn't. Even in the ambush phase, like, we're not even through round 1, and it's melting. It is all being melted. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, yes. That is literally, if there's any a time where, like, I think this channel and everybody would, like, approve of you skipping a match, is if you went full out resurrection combo and you see a Craniacs and you're not playing Squirrel.
Yep.
Like, just close, move on, buddy. Scoop your cards and go to game 2. That's what we call that on the
That's
circuit.
A scoop for sure.
It's a scooping sideboard. Scooping sideboard. You're like, I can't beat this deck. Whoop. And you got to go to sideboard to counter it. But yeah, Craniacs is back, baby. But yeah.
Yeah, that one felt pretty good because it's just like, yeah, I got him.
Yep.
You see the other team and you're like, yep.
You're like, got him. Got him. No, that was a good one. Good one. So yeah, catching up on the chat. You got mistyped. Conclave Artifact. Yes. That's a great card. The only weapons trainable in Conclave, I think, right now. Yeah, so that's a absolutely meta card. Wonderful. But yeah. So Our Faded Glory says, good to know. I just pulled a Craniacs. Now I've got to learn how to use it. Honestly, if you're anticipating some kind of resurrection or poison burst or some kind of death trigger, doesn't that also do, like, it stops bloodlust too, right?
I can't remember if it does or not.
I feel like it stopped quite a few things that there's things it stopped that I argued it shouldn't. But I can't remember those off the top of my head now. But yeah, People's Guild says these prices on these promos are silly. Yeah, it's going to finish strong. I mean, I agree. The more bloodlines, the more everything that comes out. That is exactly what's going to happen. Emma says, thanks all. Marty and all, it should. Anything on death? Yes. No, absolutely. But yeah, it's a wonderful time. I think we're 3 weeks in now, and we're seeing the adaptation. We're seeing the ebbs and flows of the meta. And so, looking at it, though, I guess that's one of the things that we could fact check real quick. Is our boy Lorcus still running at like a 67% win rate? He's pretty high. Let's see, 327, 65%. So, getting lower. Heesern, 172 over 253. Nope, that's still a 68% win rate. So still quite a couple people here with some pretty high win rates. 223 over 352. Yep, 64%. So we'll see if those can make their way down. We'll see if Craniacs can put an end to some of the shenanigans. But yeah, it's fun to watch the evolution. But
I just wish he worked on Heloise still.
that was powerful. That was absolutely powerful. And it is weird feeling really comfortable running Heloise, you know, just like knowing that there's not really a strict no to it. There's just kind of all these passive no's of like, you know, I'm just going to build a team that's got enough health to withstand multiple hits. Like, that's really what you got to do. You have to have a team that's big enough to take enough hits from the spite that, like, you can then withstand into the later rounds once you've gotten through 6 kills, you know, or 5 kills on, no, 6 kills on Heloise. So, but
Yeah, and then the weary starts kicking in, actually.
yeah, so speaking of Woody, so I mean, I guess, yeah, to give everybody, you know, kind of the rundown, so if you guys are paying attention, Vorkus is doing some battles, and that is me. I am playing the Vorkus account. That is my scholarship as we speak, and so I'm doing mainly ranked and everything over there. It's a basic, it's a base foil maxed out account, so one of the main struggles that I'm dealing with is that my reward cards are not leveled up. So Slade does not have backfire, and I think the other, there's a couple big ones that I think really hurt me when I'm playing this account, and like I'm being real patient with it. I mean, Lorcus is by far, you know, he's an amazing scholar, so like if I had to, he would unlock them right away. You know what I mean? But I'm being paid, like, we will earn them, you know what I mean? So I don't want to spend 2 times DEC burn just to make sure I have them now. Like, we're like, and again, when we're talking about win rates, you know what I mean? Like, I was clipping at 57 on Rogue, and I'm like 52, 53 right now. But like, it really gets you. If I can't get a 67% win rate, or I can't play 500 matches, it doesn't matter. So like, I'm taking some of these L's, but like Slade with the backfire is like a real big one that I'm missing. The Nomad with triage is like a big miss that I'm having also. Where's our neutral 3-drop? Right here. The Elder without swiftness is also hard. I've got the Juant without the poison. The other real big one is the Halfling Refugee that I have at level, I think it's at level 4 or 5, and it doesn't have enough health to like survive Heloise, or not Heloise, Venka. So it just doesn't like fully survive Venka hits. And I'm like, I need you to at least take one, buddy, before we start trampling Venkas. Like,
yeah, that's a huge problem when it's like kind of mirror matches, when your halfling is always gonna go second and it's just weaker overall.
Yeah, it is absolutely, I'm feeling it. My Olivia does not have deflect, so that's pretty rough. I actually don't think it has a single Glacius, so I don't even have like a cheap taunt. There's been many times like in white where I'm like, man, I really want to run this play and I need a taunt back here, but I can't afford, or like maybe we're in the rule sets where I can't really go after those, the Bellow Hippo or the Barra, you know. But
yeah, I really like Gallicus because, like, especially in those low mana Venka matches, with Tofu, I've found that if you use Gallicus, the Caravan Guard with the double triage echo,
yeah,
and then like your own Venka and stuff, like that'll, and then you put the Gallicus in the very back so the Venka can't trample. So it's been like a meta breaker for me, or mirror breaker in that sense, like.
Yeah.
And strengthen's just good ability. Plus Tofu strengthens.
Yeah, it's +3 to your
Elder.
Yeah. And if you're running the 0 cost, you know, it's +4 health to your entire team. So like, yeah. Venka has a rough time when you go +4 health on your entire team. But yeah, no, these are all cards that I think I've kind of taken for granted, because like when I came into this, like only 2 cards came to my head. It was Slade, and it was the Halfling, and I was like, those are the 2 I'm really gonna miss. But then as I've been playing, I'm like, the Elder, or like even Night Reaper. My Night Reaper doesn't have Last Stand, and I'm like, bruh. There's been many times where I'm trying to run that strat. yeah, there's just I had been playing with these at max for so long that I was like, now that I'm playing without them, I'm like, wait, that card doesn't do that? Crap. I'm having to like relearn some stuff, but no, I've been patient, with it, and I'm still trying to play enough to like really kind of unlock these cards naturally as we go. So yep, I'm running that one. So then I'm also doing the tournaments, like the bigger ones, with that account. But then I also, after last week's stream, Woody reached out to me, and I'm actually very blessed to be doing the tournaments on Woody's account. So,
Just the tournament?
yeah, just the tournaments. At the end of the day, I don't have, like, realistically, I will always try to really just play one account. And I feel like right now, I don't know how this happened, but I'm very blessed right now that it feels like I'm playing one account. Like, RoguePatton is on complete autopilot. We're doing rentals, like card management. I'm being like a card lord over here. I got the bot running in wild, sustaining, I'm just, it's in auto. I'm doing tournaments on Woody, and I'm doing ranked on Vorkus, for the most part. Small overlay of responsibility in the basic foil of like the diamond tournaments. But honestly, those gold foil tournaments, I think, is a very lucrative tournament with very low downside. You know what I mean? And so, like, with that, it was like, I think the first one I did, I was scrapping to try to maintain top 16. Like, I feel like I made day 2 relatively easy. Like, I was in a really good pool for that. I went 9-2. But then, like, once we were in day 2, it was full decks from there. So, like, that tournament was really hard day 2. But the rewards are just still so, like, top 16 was 2,000 SBS. And so, and these are all things that, like, I'm able to jump in and do now, with a gold foil deck. And so, seeing, Woody's moves that he's doing on his accounts, like, I'm just very blessed that I'm able to jump in and do those for him now, so.
Yeah, that's how those gold foil ones are, where it's like day 1 you got some people in there that are just trying to scrap together a few wins, to cash. And then day 2 is like everybody that made it through has everything, or at least a lot more than you probably will.
Yeah. Yep. So Emma is saying, yep, CA is a trash set when it comes to HP. Very overlooked stat, at least at lower leagues. Yes and no. I promise it wasn't overlooked. I very much pointed that out. That was part of my reviews when we put this in. And there were changes that were made to account for the very low HP. But honestly, though, this was part of a shift that really, you can just kind of feel, and like Jangles has talked about it a lot on the show, like the game itself sped up a little bit. Mondroid and I have talked about it, like the force field ability that we had in in Chaos Legion, the force field ability, and all of the HP and the big, like, we were going to fatigue so much in Chaos Legion, and we don't really have that problem. And I say problem, it's a conscious shift that we're not going to go to fatigue so much. Like, our game is not going to go to fatigue. Cards are going to die, and cards are going to swing harder than they used to. So that was kind of the offset. It was like, we're going to make beefy things that do crazy stuff, but everything's going to die. Something's going to die, right? So that's really what, I noticed that, and especially in bronze, like, and Mondroid and I are doing the YGG tournaments right now. So, like, we just went through novice. We did novice CA and novice modern. Big difference in CA versus modern, because Rebellion, I think, really was kind of a big winner in the modern aspect. What did you notice, Mondroid?
Yeah, I mean, so like a lot of your decent tanks and like higher HP cards for the lower leagues were definitely kind of the old staples from Rebellion. And did you want to talk about what happened with the summoner at all? Are we
Mm,
allowed to talk
I
about that?
honestly don't know. I do not know if we're allowed to. I'm just
Okay,
gonna.
maybe
I
not.
know I did great things, and I don't need the world to know it. So, but I made sure that yeah, I had an opinion, and it was heard. I don't know if others had the same opinion. At the end of the day, I think
Well,
we all
yeah,
openly shared our opinions together. That like it was really more of a group thought than so much of a individual thought. But yeah,
well,
no,
I
we
picked it up. I picked it up after you brought it up, and I'm like, that's a really good point because it was so devastating the way it was.
well, and I'm really grateful that like my brain, like I suck at just jumping in with a bunch of brand new toys and exploring. You know what I mean? So one of the things that I brought to testing specifically, and bless you, Mondroid, for going along with me, was starting with bronze, like, and just starting with CA. We were like, okay, we're gonna jam like 20, 30 games with just bronze level new cards, and we're gonna see what this looks like. Then we're gonna bump up to silver, 20 to 30 rounds, bump it up, see what it looks like. What did we progress? What new things came up? Blah, blah, blah. Bump to gold, then bump to diamond, then bump to modern. So it was like we kind of progressed through the understanding of these cards. And that was one of the big things that just came up while we were doing that was, bronze HP was obnoxiously low. And I think that was one of the only things that I thought was kind of hard with the mechanics that they were trying to release or have released with Conclave Arcana is Painforge and kind of these negative effects, Reckless. Like those are all abilities that like you almost need a little bit of HP to get the ball rolling, right?
Yeah, a little buffer.
In Novice or in Bronze, like one of those abilities and you're gonna like oopsie kill yourself in one turn, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've done that playing like the lower tournaments where I'm like, this should be sweet, and then it's like turn two, all your gnomes are dead.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, my guys are gonna run out of here and trample everybody, and then yeah, no, they're all dead. You're like, what happened, guys? Get up. Yeah, I think one of the ones that was like real big is I don't remember when I don't own the card, that's why. The what's our new epic red card? What was that again? There it is. Blazebeard. So Blazebeard was one of those cards that I noticed this because like in the top echelons, like once you got to gold and diamond, this card was like meta. But I struggled playing this card, I think in bronze and maybe even silver because it was killing itself like way too soon. I didn't see a lot of value in swinging for 3. Like I know it was really cheap, right? It's a 3-mana card still and it does a lot. But like having that 3-turn timer versus like a 4-turn timer, or even like that's where kind of the trade-off is going from silver to max, but having that bloodlust ability is absolutely huge because the bloodlust can kind of outrun the burning consequences. You don't have that in silver, right? So you've got 3 turns and this thing's dead, right? Like you can run your corrupted healing and all that, but like oftentimes I was like, man, I'm not playing this. So like this is one of
No,
those
like that
cards.
4 HP in bronze. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay, he's dead and gonna kill himself in 2
Yeah,
turns.
you're like, this is a back to basics staple. That's it. That is it. And maybe not even. I don't know. You'd have to be back to basics, no magic. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was these are all things. But yeah, CA only is difficult. It really is. We just came out of a tournament with it, but Mondroid and I both did very well. A lot of the firm did very well, and so there's strategy in everything. Even though it's really difficult, like there's ways that you can find ways to like one up on your opponent. So for sure. But yeah, all very noticeable things. You are not wrong, Emma. Just slightly is by design, and if everybody's doing it, like it's not gonna hurt so much. And I don't think that Rebellion prices have like super ran away at this point, but yeah. So People's Guild says he has silver tofu, rent Lorcus from time to time. Yep. But all right, man. So one thing that I wanted to do while we've got some people in the chat here. Last show I had mentioned that, hey, we've got what I want for you guys to start doing is snapping your battles. Send your battles on Peak D snaps, tag Mondroid, tag me, use hashtag Big Brain. I went and checked, and wouldn't you know, nobody did it. That's fine though. I get to save the 1000 DEC. But just so everybody knows, like, if you share a battle with Mondroid and I, and it's like the one that we share on the show, like, we'll give you 1000 DEC. So like, that's an active thing all week. So as you're playing through your battles and you go through something and you're like, man, I outwitted my opponent, or like I knew exactly what my opponent was going to do, like, boom, post it, share it, let's get it going. So I was the only big brain post, and I did a big brain play. I had a back to basics, or I had a melee only, no sneaking. And so these are pretty interesting, and it was rares only. So in these rule sets, you're really looking for, I don't know, magic attackers that are also melees, so you can kind of sneak them in there, rangers or something. Like, if you can figure out some way to kind of attack from your back line without being a melee attack, because that's really the main point of this, is that if green or white is active, tofu's active. So like, you should be fully anticipating tofu. So one of the things that we both did here is, we led with the poison burst. This is a good way to kind of like get that extra damage in on the front line to make sure that like we're chewing away. Other things you really got to look for is your deflect, making sure that like your melee attacks are not hurting you going into thorns. So both of us chose the right reflex. We went with Endless Ape and the Grim Bardoon Fighter. So we have both of those. We also both have Buttercups. Even though the Buttercup cannot attack right now, it is still just another deflect, a very high melee attack. So it's a good one to put in there. So then where we get into the differences and really the mirror breakers here is what we chose to kind of like end the match with. So we have a boring Hobgoblin here, which really isn't doing anything, period. But then we also have, I think the biggest mistake is running something that's attacking into thorns. Sure, you might be able to chew through some of that front person, but at the sacrifice of one of your own monsters. So what we'll end up finding here is that they're going to go to the disadvantage here pretty soon. But then in the very back, one of the things that I ended up doing is, one, knowing that at the very end there's only 2 spots that we're going to attack from. And so what I ended up doing was I ended up putting the scavenge and the triage on the very, very back on the platypus. So that way, when both of these guys drop into position 1, we've got like fully beefed up HPs, because that's really what I expected, is we're going to be in this like final showdown here of like, it's going to be 2v2. We're going to have ran through everything that has our shields and all that stuff. But then this was also the big consequence to their action, is because they had somebody attacking from the back, Poison Burst made its way into the back, which is really where you should just be building up everything for like the final run. So basically, when these two drop into position, what's going to happen is I've got something with Deflection Shield up front and a triage in the back. So I'm actually not going to take any thorns damage. Platypus has poison and has rust, so really kind of breaks a lot of those melee mirrors as well. But now, so this is exactly where the mirrors should have taken you, right? We are You know, at the very end, this is, everything's lined up here. So 2 of the last things that he had actually died from the poison burst. So if he wasn't attacking from that last position, he would actually have like 4 monsters still in position. So I'm curious if Platypus would have been able to, with the poison and everything, kind of break through this mirror if there was still 4 things that I had to kind of fight through. I don't know if Endless Ape would have had enough of the HP to get through like 2 more monsters after this, but that's kind of how that mirror ended up breaking. So I enjoy rule sets like this. That's kind of what I put in my post, is like this specifically being melee and no sneaking and sniping means that it is literally just a pit fight. It is at best, or at worst, it's 2v2. You've got your one and you've got your flanker. But at best, it's literally 1v1, because this is what we used to do in the Mylore meta too. There was a summoner that we had a couple years ago from Untamed called Mylore. He had Thorns, and anytime you'd get into this match, like, you knew you were going against Thorns, you knew you were going against Mylore, so you would not want to attack with as much as possible so that you didn't kill yourself. So it was just 1v1 battles, and you had to kind of stack your guys in a way where you would get like the most optimal run through all 6 of them, even though they weren't all 6 attacking at the same time. So very unconventional way of thinking about Splinterlands, and I love it when these types of rule sets kind of pop up. So, but yep, that was my big brain play. And then did you have anything else you wanted to share, Mondroid, or was the Craniacs kind of like your big one as well?
No, I think that was my major one, but thanks for the master class and what to do in melee only, Fog of War, and the Rise of the Commons.
Yeah.
So you just have like a math problem.
Exactly. And you will see this 1 in every 1,000 matches. Like, you'll never see this. You'll see it, and then it'll just be this little thing in the back of your head. You'll be like, I feel like I learned about this one. Nope, I don't remember it.
Well, it makes sense, because like your 2 biggest, you get 2 guys in the back scavenging up the whole time, and then like that could have even went to like fatigue in a way where, you would have had just more HP.
Yep. Yeah, we were in round 14 at that point, so yeah, it would have gotten there. So it's crazy. But yeah, so welcome, Woody. How are you? Bloody public holiday for the king's birthday stuffed up my schedule.
That freaking
crazy kings, man. Don't know nothing about that. America. But yeah, speaking of Woody, I'm glad Woody's here. Mondroid, are you ready to open up your pack that you got from Woody last week?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's jump in here. Let's go take a look at we got to go buy some items. So let's go with the market. Let's go other items. Go see if our black foils are up to 10 cents. Yay, they're cheaper. All right, man, they're cheaper for you than they were for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Buy them. Buy them. I'll just tag Rogue for all my Wayfinder Giraffe combo. Let's do it. Do it. You know what I actually want to see? It's kind of weird because I think it'd be funny, right? You would imagine like that combo, the combo of the Wayfinder and the giraffe. You can just imagine in your head it's like the Wayfinder riding the giraffe. But the way Reach works, it's actually the opposite. The giraffe is riding on the shoulders of the Wayfinder. So I really want for AI to generate that of like just the Wayfinder with a giraffe on his shoulders. And they're just... That's what I want to see.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I mean, these are the things I think about in life. I'm like, yeah, no, it's actually thematically correct if he's riding on the Wayfinder shoulders. So.
Maybe you could. Maybe that's the next big thing for Splinterlands is you can combine 2 cards and then have like their stats ramped up to match. But it's like 12 mana for both of them.
Yeah. Let's see. Emma is asking if you don't mind the plug, go see how CA plus AB works together in a 24-hour tournament Wednesday. Maybe some interesting bloodline combos. Yeah. Emma, you do yours. I want to say it's good for US time. I want to say it was like 10 o'clock or something. Let me bring up another thing here real quick. Let's go put it up. Let's plug it. There you are. So anytime for us, US Eastern, for me it's 6/11 at 10 p.m. So no, that looks really good. It's gonna be wild, silver only. Prizes are you got a pack for the winner. We got some DEC for the buyback in. I like it. And the Bristleborn Brigade. Okay. Yeah. So Emma's got a tournament up. What is that? Wednesday?
Those starter packs are legit, man.
Yeah,
I've been
they are.
pulling some of them because it's like you hit a summoner and maybe another rare or something. You make $2 off it. It's like, dang.
Yep. Yeah, and People's Guild is saying Ulans would be the only bloodline at a disadvantage. Yeah, we didn't have hippos back in the day. Back in my day, weren't none of these damn Ulans running around. It was just your elves and orcs and wizards and such. And now we got damn hippos and platypuses and furries all over the place.
Yeah, I need to check that out in Wild, like some of the synergies between the different bloodlines now, because like I'm pretty sure you can get like an Axe Master with bloodline tribute and just do like stupid damage.
That would be, I think, is it an orc? Is that, you're gonna make me look it up. Nah, I'm not gonna look it up. I'm gonna open this pack. Mondroid, no more distractions. Do not put off your black foil. It is here. It is yours.
Okay.
Ooh, thank you, Woody.
Yeah, with the elves.
Touch them all for Mondroid.
I'm getting a black foil, yay!
For Mondroid.
What if it's like RoguePatton just opened a black foil?
Oh, it would, wouldn't it, too? Like, it would ruin that for us. All right. Which one do you want first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm gonna say number 2.
Dose. All right.
Well, do people know what we're up to with the flip it and rip it, or
We're not flipping and ripping. This is just your
we're
pack.
Not flipping and ripping?
No, we're not flipping and ripping. This is just your pack.
Back then.
This is yours. Emma gave it to you. This is this isn't. This is Woody's gift. This is Woody's gift to you.
Woody did.
I can't give it back now. Tell me where I'm going from here.
Well, go to number 4 then.
All right.
Start shaking.
I forgot you're on a delay.
Oh yeah, we're on delay, dude. That's nothing. Ugh.
Just waiting.
Number 5.
All right. Oh.
I always save number 1 for last, so we'll go 5, then 3, then 1.
This one looks good. 5, then 3, then 1. We got 5 for you.
Glowing. It's glowing.
You ready?
Black foil arcane.
Come
legendary.
on. Hey. Oh, that paid for the pack. That's for sure.
What is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I needed that guy still.
Let's go.
What do you know?
Good job. All right, so then you said 3 and then 1?
Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
keep the gold foil for last.
Oh, you did. Do we algorithm, like, do we know that? Like, 1 is the gold foil?
Yeah, the leftmost one is always made gold foil first.
All right. Here we go. Oh, it's a common. Ooh. Hobgoblin. Well, I
Black
tell you what,
foil
the
mock
legendary did it. So,
Ugh.
congratulations, buddy. Thank you, Woody.
Thanks, Woody.
Thanks, Woody. You're the best, man. But yeah. So we did it again. We just completely blew through an hour and a half, and we didn't talk about proposals.
How it happens.
We honestly, it's because we have an amazing community. We have awesome people in the chat that just love to talk about the game of Splinterlands. And guys, we appreciate you very much. Thank you guys for continuing to show up and to support us, and to honestly just want to learn about the game of Splinterlands. Your guys' activity in the chat is amazing. It makes our efforts up here so much easier. 7 hour stream. 7 hour stream. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mondroid. Is that something that you think you might want to do once?
I mean, when?
That's what I don't know.
Just give me the day.
I mean, I'd have to clear. I got to clear it with the wife. We could schedule something though. I think that would be big. I mean, People's Guild's been talking about it for a minute. On like a 7 hour on a 7 hour cast, but oh, I think a big kind of collaborative long stream would actually be really good. Multiple live guests, battles, giveaways.
Yeah, we might actually get to do a challenge or something with 7 hours.
We might actually play a game.
Might actually do a battle.
No, I think that might actually be something. I might have to, I might work that over in my head and see.
A 7 hour. Woof. All right. Well, if the Jangles is gonna help, then I'll do it.
Oh man, Jangles just redeemed a challenge. Can I post a link? Yes, I think you can post a link. If you can't, it'll warn me and maybe I'll approve it. But it depends on what it is. All right, Jangles, who are you challenging? Mondroid or me? Or should we flip? We should flip a coin for it. That's what we should do. They're never gonna pick. They're never gonna pick you. They're gonna try to pick on me. Captain 60% up there.
And I didn't.
Huh?
He beat me. He beat me earlier, and you beat him. So
I did. I got lucky. Like in that match, this is a prime example of like I knew I wanted to Craniacs, but then I had like no win con outside of that. And I was like, it was like at the very end, but like luckily.
Yep.
Oh,
he says he wants Rogue.
Yep. I beat Mondroid earlier. See, all right.
Already whooped me earlier, so he's like, I don't need to face that scrub again.
All right, so what did I... Oh, man, I got to look at what I set this stuff at. I think if I remember right, it was something... let's see. You get 500 for being a subscriber already, so congratulations. I'll send you 500 DEC, but if you beat me... Oh, no, you get 100 for participating, and you get 500 if you win. Ooh! Here we go, Jangles. 50 cents on the line. Pucker up, buddy.
Whoa. That is serious
Pucker up.
business.
Let's go. Modern ghost cards.
Can you even fight on Rogue? Oh, yeah, do a ghost card. I was like, you can't fight him on Rogue.
Ghost cards. Oh, I know what we're doing. Oh, yeah, no, I know what we're doing. Oh, look at this background.
Wow.
That background's hot. I like that a lot. This is smooth. All right. Well, I know what we're doing. This is straightforward for me. We'll see if it works, cuz this is the one issue that we have is in order to fill out the team, we're going here. And so I've actually only got so many procs.
Wow, and he's stream sniping you?
Is he stream sniping me?
I don't know.
Use.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Cheater. Let's see. Oh, some fireworks in the area. All right.
But the challenge is foundation cards only.
So okay, so here's the thing. I can trade. I can do one extra resurrect. No, actually I can't. I can't. If I got rid of platypus and I just went like low. No, I can't. There's nothing there. So either way, I'm at 3 resurrects, so for sure Platy's going in there. But I guess I don't need the Blackmore. Don't need you. So if I still got to run you guys, but I need my Platy. No, because that's why. Don't care about the silence. We'll run you. Alright. So, let's just say, oh, we know Blast is coming. What's the first thing that's going to hit me? Is it going to be a Venka? Is Venka going to hit me first?
You never know.
Yeah. I feel like whatever hits me, I'm going to like... This Poison Burst is really where I'm at. I'm like, all right, let's go like this. Kind of want my Platy to survive.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then...
Platy's gonna struggle.
Actually, I want... Ah, crap. Yeah, these two gotta die soon. That's what needs to happen. Platy's not gonna do anything. I just need Platy to get weakened, and I need the Rust. At this point... Oh, look at you with your Craniacs. At this point, I'm literally... I literally built this team just so that Heloise does all the work. So that is what we're doing here. In case anybody was wondering, that is how you play Heloise in a Blast rule set. We're going True Strike. We're knocking out shields, and I mean, I think I got it. This looks cut and dry to me. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna get my poison burst.
He's got the Craniacs to stop you from resurrecting.
Not my Heloise, you don't. Oh, and look at this. His Craniacs died at the same time as my Poison Burst. So I thought I was going to get the triggers. Goodbye. Whoa. Oh, there we go. Ooh, no, we're exhausted. Why are we exhausted? Oh, man, that got tight. Because that's really, it's when you get down to that low mana, right? Like you've got 9 for the Heloise and you've got 7 for the Summoner, so you're already in for 16. And like the majority of the stuff that you can fill out are already weakened, right? So like the 0 cost doesn't help Heloise at all. The 1 cost Monk doesn't help Heloise at all. So like I only brought 3 Resurrects, right? And so that's kind of why I tried to tuck them back there. But actually, let's replay that. Because I'm wondering if I ever got a Resurrect off of my... Oh, no, what's this? Get out of here. Get out of here. I think I'm on a terrible losing streak in Wild. But anyway, let's go look at Jangles again. I'm wondering if I ever got this weakened, or if I ended up losing out on one because it died too soon. Where does the first... And that's, I guess, maybe one of the other aspects. I'm going to take the time and I'm going to read. No? Okay, so first weekend was back here. I ended up losing this. So where... Is there a randomness to this? Or do I... Come on. There you go. No. Show me this card. You goof. Why aren't you showing me this card? You'll show me every other card. Show me Heloise. You're gonna make me go read it elsewhere. Darn it. What a bug. Report
it's
it.
Totally random who gets the weary, I think.
Is it? That's where I didn't know if there was maybe something in the ability that kind of helps. Because, yeah, I actually only got 2 triggers. Because the Divine. So, like, I guess part of... That was really one of the things that I was thinking about when I set this lineup up originally. It was like, I'm wondering if I should have put... Like, I really wanted that Poison Burst first to get the most amount of damage as I could, like, early. But realistically, those two up front would have probably been best to make sure I had like another resurrect trigger and another spite trigger on Heloise. That would have been smarter.
Yep. In hindsight,
if my
now
opponent
that
was
we
better,
now
I'd have
know.
probably gotten punished for that.
Yeah, for sure. Luckily, we had an easy one.
I'm sorry. I should not know it. Jangles is a great friend of mine, and we do a lot of banter. Do not think that if you challenge us on stream that I'm just going to trash talk you when I destroy you on the stream. That's not. This is a very welcoming community. Please come challenge us. It's good for everybody. I swear. I'm a good sport.
Definitely won't talk smack.
I'm a good sport. Oh my gosh. Jangles, I love you, buddy. You were our first subscribers. You were our first challenge. You have been amazing, and we appreciate you very much. But, yep. So Emma's saying he thinks it's the highest health first, but I don't play that card. Yeah, I didn't either until I became a scholar and some ghost card tournaments. That's when I started playing with this card, and it's absolutely broken. Trash talk is the main part of the challenge. Hashtag get good. Yes.
Get good.
Get good. You spelt it wrong though. It's Mondroid. Drop the right hashtag in there. Oh, this one's for you, Jangles. So we need in-game emotes or chat for challenges. Yeah, essentially, just as you're chatting in the chat and everything, you should be accumulating channel points. And so right there at the bottom of your screen, you should have like a little orb or whatever that says how many channel points you have. And if you get up to 1,000, you can redeem those for a chance at Mondroid or I. And we can do whatever league, whatever rule sets you're kind of looking for. We can set it up exactly how you want to. If you're not a sub and you beat us, you get 100 DEC. If you are a sub, you automatically get the 100. And if you beat us, you get 500. So just a little something we set up. But no, I mean in SPL, we need to add that for trash talk. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yep. Is it get good? Here, I got you. Hashtag. Yep. There it is. Oh, man. He even typed it out himself. Ugh. How'd that feel, Jangles? You all right? You all right? Did you have to turn in your teaching certificate?
For like 5 seconds after the match finishes, there's just open mic. Bullshit RNG.
Oh, let's go. My goodness. But yeah. No, thanks for the challenge, buddy. We appreciate it. All right. Mondroid, do you have any other words of wisdom, advice, sage knowledge, parting gifts for our audience?
Get your Craniacs while he's still cheap.
Get your Craniacs. It's very true. It's very true. Emma, thank you very much for stopping by tonight. Woody, we appreciate you as always. Glad you made it here on the King's birthday. Runer, thank you for making it, buddy. We appreciate you guys. Jangles, as always, man, you're awesome. We are here every Sunday night, starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We also download all of this content and put it back onto 3Speak during the week. So you have replay capability. It will always be on the internet forever. You can just add it to your long-form content channels if you want to. Queue it up during the week. I think it's up there for anybody. So if you want, support us on Peak D, Splinterlands, whatever. We are very active in the Hive ecosystem. So make sure you stop by, say hi. Make sure you guys are also snapping your big brain plays. I am looking. If we choose one to highlight on our show, you will get 1,000 DEC. So nobody claim that. There was $1. Everybody left on the table. It's an easy
That's
dollar.
a starter pack.
It's a starter pack. It is a starter pack. And it's a very rare summoner. But you guys are awesome. We appreciate you guys. As always, have a wonderful night and a wonderful week. And we will see you guys next time. God bless.
Bye-bye.